So something I wanted to share in the community is my hotkey layout, in hopes to really get some advantages from other players on what I could do better, and possibly if you guys find something that works out well for you, feel free to grab it. This is just a hotkey layout that I made by trial and error over time, looking at my keyboard and the screen and finding out what works well for me. So let me jump in here. One of the first things that you're going to notice is my economics building is my caps key. The reason I do that, it's furthest to the left and it's one of the larger keys, so I don't lose it as often. You can kind of see where my hand rests on F and caps key, and my two pointer fingers up there on W and E. It works out well for me. So, something I don't use as often is probably the pro players is the military buildings. I feel like Definitive Edition did a really good job of providing cross functionalities with the keys, so we can use more than say HD. I really like that, and hats off to them. So if we go into cycle commands, last notification, I use the scroll button on my mouse, the wheel. If I just push down on it, it will take me to the last notification. Um, Getting relics and things like that works out very well for that. My idle villager and idle military unit are the two side buttons on my mouse. So that would be idle villager, that would be idle military unit. Um, Great system for me, and it's very quick. Can get to any idle villager very quickly with your mouse. So that's something that I would suggest. Go to town center for me is my F key right there. So I would go to town center and I would spam and make a villager with my caps key. So right there you'll see I have caps as build a villager. So F town center, um, caps key is build a villager. A lot of my one-time builds in any building or possible units is usually default to caps key. So to give you an example, trade carts is cap key. Monastery, the Wooloo guys, that's going to be caps key as well. It's just easy for me to remember and also get to. So if we go into villager builds, let me just do eco buildings first, since it's at the top. W is going to be my lumber camp, E is going to be my mill, and R is going to be my mining camp. Again, so that's my eco right there. It's just lumber camp, mill, mine. Q is for castle, and don't ask me why I have that there. It just works out well for me. And if I move down, then I'm going to have all of my military buildings. So A is going to be build an archery range. Let me see if you guys can see that there. S is going to be stable. D is going to be my barracks. And F is actually my palisade wall. So F is palisade wall, and G is my palisade gate. To me, that's easy. Eco building, palisade wall, or gate, just in case I need it for quick play. Works out pretty well for me. I have C as a siege workshop, and I actually have the Z and the X to me are down there for a reason. It is my blacksmith is going to be Z, and my market is going to be X. So we're all trying to get to Castle Age pretty quickly. They're just down there at the bottom for me. So eco, military, uh, alternate functionalities really to me getting to Castle Age. So that's what I do there. See if I can see anything else that might be important to you guys. Got town center, like I said, building a villager is my caps lock. So I would go F and then spam caps. So barracks, archery range, stable. I think this is kind of unique. We all have two units in each of these buildings and siege workshop that are used more often than any. For an example, spearmen and men at arms. All of them are going to be W and E for me. So if I want a spearman, it's W. Man at arms, it's E. Same with archery range. My weaker but most used is skirmisher. It's W. And crossbowman is going to be E. And again, those two fingers never move, so it's pretty seamless. If it just in case I need them. Stable, W for scout, and E for paladin. Same with siege workshop. It's going to be W for battering ram, and it's going to be E for the mangonel. And of course, I do R for bombard or F for scorpion, just in case I need them. Those are usually the first go-to. You'll notice monastery to build a monk, it's cap. Market, if I want trade carts, it's cap. So I never have to look down for those. All of my extra upgrades that go through a building, say lumber camp or a mining camp, um, I've got W and E here. Again, my fingers don't move. Wood upgrades for me are cap lock. Same with mill. So for my farm upgrades and my lumber camp upgrades, it's cap. I spam that button quite a bit. My mining camp specifically is W and E. Those fingers never move, and they also look show how they do on the screen. You have gold and then you have mining, W first, E second. So that really helps me remember that. Um, if you guys can screenshot anything or kick back some questions, that'd be very cool of you. And let me know if you guys come up with any tricks either. One last thing before I go, I wanted to show you guys the buildings that I spam. Archery ranges, barracks, castles. So I have Control A, the same thing I would build it as. Control A if I wanted to select all of my archery ranges. Control S for my stables. Control Z for my barracks, and Control X for my castle. Now again, if you had 8 barracks out there and I push Control Z, it's going to select them all. Then I'm going to hold down Shift, which would enable me to build 5 out of each barracks at every single time. So once you get to Imperial and you start spamming units, this is pretty important. And I also like the fact that you can select all visible military units with my Alt and spacebar. Let's see if I can find that for you. Yeah, it's right there. Select all visible land military units is Alt and space for me. That helps me out quite a bit in the game as well. Um, yep. If you guys can think of anything, any tips or tricks, let me know. Thanks.